The World Shaper's Awakening. Chapter 2, Shadows and Secrets. Don't forget to subscribe. The next morning, Netto woke with a start, the events of the previous night replaying in his mind. He lay in bed for a moment, staring at the ceiling, trying to process everything Yume had told him. A world shaper. The concept seemed both thrilling and terrifying, and he wasn't sure he fully understood what it meant. But one thing was clear. His life had changed forever. He got up and dressed quickly, his mind buzzing with questions. His mother was already in the kitchen, preparing breakfast. She smiled at him as he entered, but her smile faltered when she saw the look on his face. "Everything okay, Netto?" she asked, concern lacing her voice.
"Yeah, Mom," Netto replied, forcing a smile.
"Just a lot on my mind." She nodded, seeming to accept his answer, but Netto could see the worry in her eyes. He ate his breakfast in silence, his thoughts elsewhere. The dream, the letter, Yume, it all seemed so surreal. But as he felt the weight of the small pendant Yume had given him, resting against his chest, he knew it was real. The bus ride to school was a blur, and Netto found it hard to focus in his classes. His mind kept drifting back to the conversation in the old library. Yume had spoken of a darkness that was coming, a force that only the world shapers could stop. But what did that mean for him? How was he supposed to fight something he didn't even understand? During lunch, he met up with Kaito under their usual cherry blossom tree. Kaito's cheerful demeanor was a stark contrast to Netto's somber mood. "Hey man," Kaito said, taking a bite of his sandwich. "You look like you didn't get any sleep." Netto sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I didn't. There's something I need to tell you." Kaito raised an eyebrow, curiosity piqued. "What's up?" Netto glanced around, making sure no one else was listening. He took a deep breath and recounted the events of the previous night. The letter, the old library, and meeting Yume. Kaito listened in stunned silence, his sandwich forgotten. When Netto finished, Kaito was silent for a moment, processing the information. "So, you're telling me you're some kind of world shaper, and there's a darkness coming that only you can stop?" Netto nodded, feeling a weight lift off his shoulders at sharing the burden. "That's what Yume said. I know it sounds crazy, but I believe her." Kaito leaned back against the tree, letting out a low whistle. "Wow, that's intense. What are you going to do?" "I don't know," Netto admitted. "But I have to figure it out. I can't ignore this." Kaito nodded, his expression serious. "Well, you know I'm with you whatever happens." Netto felt a surge of gratitude for his friend's unwavering support. "Thanks, Kaito. That means a lot." The rest of the school day passed in a haze, Netto's mind preoccupied with thoughts of Yume and the darkness she had warned about. After school, he decided to head back to the old library, hoping to find Yume and get some answers. He texted his mom, letting her know he'd be home late, and made his way to the outskirts of town. The library looked just as ominous in the daylight, its decrepit facade casting long shadows in the late afternoon sun. Netto pushed the door open and stepped inside, the familiar smell of dust and old books greeting him. He navigated the shadowy aisles, calling out Yume's name. "Yume, are you here?" For a moment there was no response. Then, from the shadows, Yume emerged, her blue eyes piercing through the dim light. "You came back," she said, her voice calm and steady. "I need answers," Netto replied. "You said I'm a world shaper. What does that mean?" Yume nodded as if she had expected the question. She gestured for Netto to follow her deeper into the library. They walked in silence until they reached a small, hidden room lined with ancient books and strange artifacts. "Sit," Yume said, motioning to a dusty chair. Netto complied, watching as she pulled out a large leather-bound book. She opened it, revealing pages filled with intricate symbols and diagrams. "World shapers," she began, "are individuals with the ability to manipulate the very fabric of reality. We can shape the world around us, bending it to our will. But with this power comes great responsibility. There is a darkness, an ancient force that seeks to corrupt and destroy. It is our duty to stop it. Netto listened, his mind reeling with the enormity of what she was saying. But why me? Why now? Because the darkness is growing stronger, Yume explained. It senses your awakening power and will stop at nothing to consume it. You must learn to control your abilities, or all will be lost. Netto felt a chill run down his spine. The weight of his newfound destiny pressed heavily on him. How do I learn to control it? Yume closed the book and looked at him, her expression serious. I will teach you, but it won't be easy. There will be trials and you will be tested. But together we can harness your power and stand against the darkness. Netto nodded, determination replacing his fear. I'm ready. Whatever it takes, I'll do it. Yume smiled, a rare glimmer of warmth in her otherwise stoic demeanor. Good. We start now. The hours flew by as Yume began teaching Netto the basics of his power. They practiced visualization exercises, focusing on bending small objects to his will. It was frustrating and exhausting, but Netto could feel a spark of potential within him, a hint of the power he could wield. As night fell, Netto's exhaustion finally caught up with him. Yume insisted he go home and rest, promising they would continue training the next day. Netto agreed, his body aching but his mind buzzing with newfound knowledge. The walk home was a blur, the weight of the day's revelations heavy on his shoulders. When he finally crawled into bed, sleep came quickly, his dreams filled with images of shifting landscapes and shadowy figures. Netto knew that his life would never be the same. The path ahead was uncertain and fraught with danger, but he was no longer alone. With Yume by his side, he felt a glimmer of hope amidst the encroaching darkness. He was a world shaper, and he would not let the darkness prevail.